and I'm flying high above the sky. I don't care, there will be a fight. Don't you know you've done for me right in your eyes? Totally a fight. Don't you see? Don't you know you've done for me right? Totally a fight. Don't you see? Don't you see? Don't you see?
What's happening, boys?
Fellas, what's going on?
What
It is
is
Friday
up?
again. Rolling Thunder episode like 56 or 57. I want to say 57.
We're getting up there. We're going to be retiring soon, right? No.
Yeah.
It'll be funny
Me
replacing
maybe. I don't know
host.
about y'all.
I'll retire when I die.
I've said that for
Car
years.
audio forever, man.
I haven't
It's
saved
funny how it
anything.
started too, man. Like I guess we really need to sit down one day and talk about it. Like we've gone far enough now of it being like over the actual year mark of us doing it, and like it really started as like me and Casey sitting in the living room like goofing off and like dude, we have some funny ass conversations. Why aren't we doing this live? And then like you chimed in episode 1, and I think Joe, I think you were like episode.
No,
4 or
dude,
5,
it wasn't
like
even that. What happened was we talked about it, and then we got invited to do
12 talk.
12 volt talk. Yep.
Mhm.
And so then we did 12 volt talk, and then I'm like, we're talking back and forth, and we just fucking did it. It was really awkward because we shared headphones.
Yeah.
Like he had one in one ear, I had one in the other ear. Like he went to Best Buy on the way home or something like that to get a webcam.
Circuit City, yeah, so that I passed it. Yeah, it's literally it was like Circuit City, some Office Max. Yeah, it was Office Max on 92. Yeah, it's the microphone you're using now. So the webcam I'm using right now still, and the mic that Casey's using now.
Snowball.
On 12V Talk for the Power Hog thing we were affiliated with before. And I was literally like, they're like, can you get on? And I'm like, I will not miss it for sure. And that's when 12V Talk was fucking booming, you know what I mean?
I know.
But
I know.
It was so cool.
yeah, so I got a webcam and a mic on the way home, and we're here now.
Heck yeah, man. I know. Whenever you guys first went live, I think you shared a link to I Just Want to Bang Harder, my group. And I was like, oh, he's live. I'll jump in. That's why I was like halfway through, and I'm like, oh, they're talking about Kicker. Hey,
I
how
didn't
you
know that
doing?
was your group.
I have the Harder, not I Just Want to Bang. That's Justin Phillips.
I'm banned permanently from that.
Everyone's
Sharing
banned.
star
That's the
memes.
problem.
I'm not banned
with
still.
that.
I still make my memes and post them in there. And
Dude,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to go crazy in that group. That's where I kind of met a lot of people. Troy Underwood, like the OG, like
Isn't
just
Troy here?
face-
I think Troy's here in Georgia.
Is he? He's out in California. I know that. Unless he's traveling for something. I know he might be in
Different guy.
Georgia after he's seen Justin Herbert
Yeah,
get hurt
yeah, he's
in the
San
Chargers
Diego.
game.
There's one of the guys that's in all the groups and on the YouTube channels. I found out he was like in like North Georgia. I was like, what the
Oh.
crap? Yeah.
It's crazy. I just accepted somebody in Kicker Club, and they were from Duquesne, which is like 20, 30 minutes away from me. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I don't even know this guy. No mutual friends. So I'm like, okay, so it's just cool, People are close, I don't know. But, I like that group. I really did. I start sharing memes, and you want to know what I got kicked out for? Making a Kicker meme. Literally a Kicker meme. And I got kicked out for it. I am not kidding. It was it was just a Photoshop with 4 L7s, but they were on top of a stove, and in the stove, and I was like 4 L7s, $2,500. I know what I got. Get out of here with your low ball offers. It was a joke.
Sure.
And yeah, he banned me for that. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
serious on that one.
Yeah.
I got a ban on I Just Want to Bang for a Day one time. I made a meme. It was like West Coast Customs, and it was like, so we heard you like Scar audio, so we just pissed in your car. Yeah.
Bro, people hate the scar memes. They get so up in arms. And that's the only, honestly, that's the only reason I make them. Because
I do them.
there's not anything inherently bad with them. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
No.
I'm not going
I
to
mean,
sit here and
like,
trash
they
talk
did-
them, but dude, it's so funny to get them riled up on those memes, bro. Like, it's ridiculous.
Nah, don't
They
get me
come out
wrong.
with the
though. I do
pitchforks.
genuinely feel is there anything wrong with some Scar product as far as like, especially like the amps, if you're on a budget stuff like that? Probably not. It's fine. Like I don't like the no recon options like on anything, even though they're expensive drivers. But then B, Like they are deceptive in making imitation style tool baskets to appear, like sundown drivers, like in their bigger subs, and that's not for performance. That's for imitation looks, and that's only the deceit side is the only thing I don't like. But yeah.
A little sneaky, but someone's got to do it, unfortunately.
Oh,
and
somebody's
it just
going to do
happens.
it. If it wasn't Scar, it'd be another brand. If it wasn't Scar, it'd be another brand in the pot. Yeah, we got
Well, I
Joe
see a
with-
lot
what's
do
going
that.
on, bro?
I look at some baskets and they all look the same, but they have different tooling or different research and development if they're putting different soft parts
Well,
in.
there's a common misconception too. Like, for the most part, we've made it into, and as far as conventional frame drivers, where you're not going like ZX stuff like that, where they have crazy excursion stuff like that. For general, purpose stuff like open tool frames are pretty common. Like, there's companies out there that literally have just been making tool frames for decades now. You can get a catalog of frames, and like if it has the bolt pattern you want, the spider size landing you want, you got the the height for the former and all that stuff you want. Why spend the money on doing that as a small company? So like the open tool frame, as long as you're using a good one, in my honest opinion, is not that bad. It's the motor, soft parts, and assembly that you're putting on that.
I agree.
Exactly. Right. And
Look at
it's just,
12
the
spoke.
parts you're
12
putting in there,
20 years. The TI frame, the 12 spoke basket, all that stuff's been out for 20 plus years now.
I've always heard the TI frame, like that was the first one I've ever heard of, because that was the one that you use for the Solo X. If you want to make a round, you use a TI frame. And I'm like, oh, well, that's, if I ever blow it, I'll turn it around. That never happened. Never will.
happened.
I'll just buy another one.
Joe, what are you up to, man?
Me? No, not too much. Just sitting around watching TV.
You came by and gave me a demo today.
Hell yeah! What cigar? What's the
Oh.
cigar of choice this evening, sir?
Well, this
Yes.
is the one. Well, last time my wife was in Peru, which she's there again today, brought me back a box of local Peruvian cigars. Actually, not too bad.
Wow.
Nice. Dude, that thing is
Awesome.
smacking, by the way. I was just
The
hanging
truck's
out at the shop. We were finishing up this truck, and Joe shows up, and they're like, some guy with a Tahoe that's kind of like yours is coffee,
Yeah.
and he's outside. And I was like, that guy can fuck off. And then I walked out, and it was Joe. I was like, I didn't know it was going louder than me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, no, he
You
can't
got a
fuck off.
demo?
He can stay. He can,
I got a back itch from that. Have you ever got a
Yeah,
demo
dude.
so
And
loud that
that's
it
one
makes
thing I
your
love
back
about Joe's
itch?
truck, dude. It's
Itchy
like
back syndrome. It's a thing.
I'll have dealers or customers or whatever. Like they'll be at the warehouse a few times, or I've been in their shop, and I'm like, and a lot of these guys, and I'm not trying to sound conceited by it, but like it's facts. Like my truck's louder than a lot of these shops have ever fucking built. Like that's louder than anything they've ever done.
Or ever
So,
crazy
like,
loud.
Oh, for sure. But they're like, I can't believe anything would be louder than this, or whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, there's louder stuff out there. Like I have many friends, and then like next, it's been cool to be able to take Joe's truck to some of the shops that we've been to with my truck and be like, I see when I fucking told you, like this is double the power of mine. Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
I want to sit in. Is it Chris Lee?
Oh, dude, I'll never get in
Dude,
that
you don't
fucker
wanna
ever
sit
again.
in
I'll
that,
sit in the
bro.
door. I'll get in the door.
He doesn't want to do that.
I'm not.
I mean,
climbing
he
that-
plays lows though too. It's not just the high stuff. So
Sometimes, normally it's that same.
Sometimes.
It's like that Iethka or DB drag song, like just
No,
like
it's
all day,
the
just
Street
tapping
Beat
one
thing.
after
The
another.
Same ones Andy uploaded.
Yeah,
jeez.
just wrecking people all day, dude.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that
great.
yeah. Well, I mean, with those SPL vehicles, usually they're geared for just one or two or a couple frequencies. They play below. They don't want to bottom out. They got thousands and thousands of watts. It's easy to do.
He can play everything. He would rather just murder like numerous people in a row.
47
honestly,
hertz
Yeah,
to the
it's crazy
chest.
loud, dude.
I think
It's a
I
crazy
honestly
demo.
think we're touching the boundaries now of like literally somebody's gonna fucking kill somebody on accident. Like we're reaching that point. I'm
Right.
not even
Yeah.
joking. I'm not even kidding at that point. Like we're reaching the point of somebody's gonna get injured.
It's like my
Once they
eardrum
break
is
that
is
190,
laying
it'll
on the
happen.
floor. Is this a problem?
Dude,
Yeah.
there's already been Chris Lee videos of like kids that are like younger guys that are like literally about to pass the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Because they don't want to tap
Let 'em
out
break-
and be like made fun of, I guess.
Oh no, you tapping, bro?
I immediately
Come
tapped.
on, man.
I felt it. I felt my chest plate right here. I felt these pieces go closer together, and I was
Isn't
like,
that
nope.
crazy? It's like you
Done.
physically can't breathe. It's just your lungs, the pressure, and damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hold your
That's why I
breath or
said,
not.
Rob, like I'll stand in the door. I'll even sit in the door opening on the rocker. I'm not climbing in the pocket ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The door
dude,
opens
RP's
rough,
gonna kill
dude.
somebody. RP's a cool guy.
Still,
186 at finals.
that guy's
Dude,
really?
wild, bro.
Yeah.
So
he's
wait,
nuts.
that's the
talking like
loudest
these doors,
score.
bro. These doors
ever.
are like filled with concrete. There's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so extreme. And like I saw a video where they had to put, the boat things that you jack up with the wheel on it. Like to
Yeah,
open
yeah,
the
yeah.
door, they had one of those. They would flip it down and like jack it up to
Oh,
open the door because it's so.
All they
heavy.
needed was an anchor, anchor it down, get
Right.
even louder.
Speaking of that, we haven't showed it off much. I don't have the finished picture done. Joe's new alternator setup's fucking sick.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. About
Yeah.
time.
Thank you.
About time. I know you were having alt problems. Now, there's
Yeah.
Mechman, right?
Yeah, they're Mech
Yeah, all of
400s. I got a picture of it before, so you can just imagine it with just the colored alts. But
Yeah.
it's pretty sick.
Yeah. Of course,
What
now
are
everybody
those,
in the planet's gonna have
400s?
multicolored ones too. Yeah, they're 400s. I
Nice.
think by the end of the
Nice.
season, the whole world's gonna have multicolored alts now. So.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you'll
Dude,
start
the
a
Mech
trend.
400 was a good upgrade to my truck too, man. Like as
Yeah.
far as like how long I can demo is for sure. Now, like which we changed some stuff now where we talked about it, but like and that before, even because it just from being so fucking hot like a sundown show, I was just battling thermal stuff at that point. I wasn't having to fight voltage anymore.
Yeah.
But, so when we get the new stuff knocked out, it's gonna be freaking sick.
Yeah, you
I
guys
had
are putting a lot of
episode-
strain on yours. You're playing for hours upon hours upon hours,
Yeah, and that's what a
Yeah.
lot of people are like. Oh man, you got like, people are like you're changing because thermal protection. But I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like, it's not like I'm going up the road and playing a song or two and I'm overheating the amp. We're talking about it's like half the day's gone. In accord.
Yeah.
So I got this episode. I wanted to talk about big ass subs and amps, dude. I feel
Yeah.
like all of us, between the four of us, have had enough big ass subs and amps that we like or have found memorable that we could talk about them. And I've already, obviously, you guys can just give me a shout on yours, but I wanted to start off with some of my favorites we can talk about. And I think the first big ass speaker I ever saw in my life was a pair of Serwin Vega Strokers. My dad had a pair of 12s and a Nissan Pathfinder. And then, so at the time, these things were fucking huge. Have you guys ever played with strokers other than mine, Casey?
Yeah.
I've
What
never
year
heard
was
in
one.
your bedroom alone
Never
when
heard
you're
one.
15.
These are the newer ones.
Those are
The
new
OG
ones.
strokers. I put one on my C6 Corvette. I fucking loved it.
Are the new ones like pretty much the same as the old ones? Because I know they had like the adjustable top part there.
So believe it or not, that's
No.
actually not meant to be adjusted. That's like a huge misconception with the stroker people. You're actually not supposed to make adjustments on that. So it's
I heard
like
even if it is, it's like barely anything difference.
it's supposed to be like limiting the X max, but like you do that. So you can make some adjustment on it when you have a worn out one, like the spiders get soft and stuff like that. So you can kind of make some adjustment. But how you hear people talk about like making adjustments to the pole piece for like SPL tuning and stuff like that, like no, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like it was just like a common misconception. Like no,
Hey,
you're
that's
like,
just the word on the street, right?
yeah, exactly. But so amazing fucking sub in the '90s. That's a huge sub.
Oh yeah,
It
man.
was. It was definitely a big sub in the 90s. Yeah, if you rolled up a couple of them in your truck, you were the guy everybody ran to.
I was
Oh,
a
yeah.
big sub in the 90s.
Another big sub in the '90s. My first pair of actual real subs, a pair of Rockford Power HX2s.
4-inch coil on that one.
Yeah, they're 4-inch coils.
Yeah.
Those things
Yeah.
are pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, they're cool subs. Even a Punch HX2 is still a cool sub. It's just
I like the
obviously-
Type R's back then, dude.
We'll
was a
pull
big
them up in a
fan.
second. Yeah, the Punch HX2 is like the same thing, just like a smaller motor. But hell,
Punch?
we got that. We'll pull up Joe's. Or
H2s, yeah, those had the big pull piece.
Here's my
Huge.
favorite subs of all freaking time. All-time favorite subwoofers, and I'm going to own more one day, is the Lightning Audio Strike X210, which is
What is that?
It's a Lightning Audio X Storm subwoofer, but what it really is, the TC Sounds 3 horsepower motor. It's a 3-inch coil, 3-inch peak-to-peak excursion. And the cool
Wow.
thing on these, so they kind of were innovative with drop-in recones. Really wasn't drop-in recones like we took in think of today, that you bolted a whole nother basket to the motor. So like you just unbolted it to it, you bolted another one out of the show, and it already had a recone kit in it, and you kept playing.
Damn, that's different type of drop in, but I mean it makes
Yeah.
sense, Boom, boom, boom.
I'm eventually going to try to find somebody with a couple of these motors. I'd like to have the frames too, because Dave Lieb has some motors, I think, but I really want to get the frames. But like, they're antiquated spider size now and stuff like that, and like it's not really the same. But for a 2005 subwoofer, I feel like it was the shit.
I feel that looks like what the Jensen wanted to be. The
Yeah,
Jensen-
right.
Yeah,
The
pretty much.
Make thing, like the old EXO video one.
Yep, exactly, exactly.
The crazy thing on this stuff is what a lot of people don't realize about the Lightning Audio, especially in 2005 when they got purchased by Rockford and they came out with the Strike and Storm series. Like apples to apples, it freaking you took and normally had better Lightning Audio products. We got fucking Robert. What's up in here, big dog?
Oh,
Yo.
there he is. I didn't think you'd ever join, Rob.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, we got the man himself. He was sending me pictures of Pitbull 20Ks just sitting in the garage floor.
Oh, sick. Dude, they're
I
nasty.
was watching you guys when you guys are bringing up the big amps, and I was like, oh, it's got
You got
two
some big ones
sitting
laying
there.
around.
Hell
Holy
yeah,
shit.
we
Look
needed
at
those
another
those
mustache
aren't
in here,
mine.
bro.
How do you walk around with all the dick in your pants, Rob?
Those aren't my amps. Those aren't mine.
What
But
about the Master Series, the 1023?
the what now?
The toolbox behind you.
Oh no, that's a knockoff. That's a snap off.
Oh shit.
Snap off.
It's a slap-on.
For the size
It's
of
a
the
strap-on.
webcam video here, you could have been like, yeah, dude, it's a Master Series. I noticed at the top it seemed funny. I noticed because there was no top, so I was like,
Oh.
that's weird.
Oh, the proto battery on top is worth more than the toolbox.
For sure. Hey, from the distance there, it's a snap-on box.
Yeah, I got to get one of those snap off logos to go on there.
Hell yeah. Dude, somebody put one on my tool truck that was like the dick on the end of it, and I left it on there for like a month just intentionally. Like, I didn't give a damn. Going back to the first time I ever saw the pair of gold label 18s. I always really wanted a pair of gold labels, and I came across a pair of, like, a bunch of them in the wild, but they're always, like, worn the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, surrounds got rips in them or stuff like that. Or you're going to pay a mega premium to have ones like Fuego has, and you're never going to be able to use them because they'll come apart, like, really quick.
Yep. Yeah, usually the kicker gold, you can't even tell it says kicker on. It's all faded. You know, it's a shame, but that's just time. That's time. I that's what's crazy about their museum. They have, I guess, they kept it in a climate control room for 25 plus years. You know, and just never opened the box. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna open it, and then boom. You know, so it's crazy.
Getting
Yeah,
back
it's
into
crazy.
car audio and like the Rockford stuff was a big eye opener for me. That I can really love and appreciate older amps more than older drivers and subwoofers, because, like, you know, I was buying like the T2s and all that stuff, and it's like, no matter the expense you pay for getting like a nice one to even box and all that stuff, you still have 25, 30-year-old glue that's going to come apart, or foam that's going to come apart. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's sad. That's the same
Yeah.
thing with like old electronics, dude. They're just gonna go bad. You know, like
Oh,
capacitors,
dude,
like
I
a
had-
battery, they're gonna go bad.
Yeah, just still they will, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually like facts. So like, it's kind of funny you say that, because I went to my last time I was at my grandmother's house. I had this like cool attic crawl space, and I had like a bunch of my shit stashed in there, and like so I had some like old PCs, and like, oh shit, I'm gonna take and, you know, gang some of the games and hard drives and my photos and stuff out of them, and I opened up the computers, and like everyone had blown caps and stuff in it, every single one of them.
Damn.
And I'm like, yeah, that's
Weed.
not gonna work anymore.
Yeah, I've seen them
Weird.
swell. You know, humidity usually.
Hell yeah. Going back
Robert,
to
what
big
about
ass
you,
stuff-
dude?
Sorry.
What's up?
I was trying to, Robert, biggest subs that you
The biggest-
admire, your favorite large subwoofer.
For looks alone, those Team B1s that Jared has on his floor, just sitting there in his garage.
I don't even want to talk about that. I cannot.
I know,
believe
I
you
know,
brought that
I
up,
know.
Robert.
Just go like,
subject.
I
ooh.
can't believe you
Sore
just
subject,
kick him out
but-
of here. No, I'm just kidding.
For looks alone, those, but as far as the ones I've got to use and listen to, the Phi Omegas and the Phi Delta lines, I don't like picking them up. It's just obnoxious to have to load those subs. They weigh like 130 something pounds a piece. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
fun.
Phew.
But I like Phi subs, but I still always find myself going back to Sundown no matter what.
The Omegas are supposed to be the next sub in the Tahoe. It's just nothing worked out, bro.
Yeah, well, good luck. Have fun. I mean, I know you're, what are you, like 29, 30?
Yeah,
Yeah, your back's not made for that. Trust me. Don't do that.
that's why I have friends, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
even like
you bet-
putting the
you
4K up and stuff like that. I did it the other day by myself. I was like, my arms were tired the next day just doing one amp, and I was like, man, I'm getting fucking old.
And I'm pushing
Okay,
it with
sit
that
down.
quad box with Kayla. She was slipping on it. I'm like, come on, don't slip on it, because we were like moving it from one thing to the other. That thing's not too heavy. It's just, you know, it's hard to pick up anything like that. So, hey.
My
And
bad.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised none of you guys said this. And we've seen bigger woofers. Don't get me wrong. And I know the performance of this isn't as what it was, but iconic, huge woofer. I mean, the jackhammer.
Yeah.
remember
You
that.
know, it just looked like the loudest woofer ever made.
For sure. And like they always have a novelty to them to me. On the two-sided coin of it, like my dad was the Rockford distributor at the time, so like, you know, MTX and Audiobahn also was a competitor, and like they already were like calling as it was at the time, like, hey, that's just like a novelty thing, you know, like you're never going to see one, you know, like actually getting used, and, you know, there's only a handful of them made. Yeah, look at it, it's got the $18,999 price tag.
Phew,
They're still
worth
in
every
stock, bro.
penny.
You can still get a jackhammer right now.
That's insane. That's
Do you
insane.
remember the-
we
do you remember
we
that
need
episode of
someone to
Pimp My
buy
Ride?
one.
Yeah,
Remember
where they-
Pimp My Ride where they were putting it in that like absolutely shit
Yes,
car?
dude.
You're like,
It's
the car
Pimp My
does not
Ride.
run any better. But we put this,
Exhibit
like,
hyped those things up so much. I remember on Pimp My Ride, he'd be like, "Her dad died in a fire, so we put an ashtray in her car." Like, and we're gonna stick this $20,000 jackhammer in there just cause in a fish aquarium.
and then
I
we're
heard
gonna
you
get
were
out
deaf,
and
so we're gonna throw the biggest woofer in there.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. You can't hear it.
Every
Didn't
car
that
we started
kid's
never
car
got
break down?
finished.
Yeah, they never did anything mechanically on them. They
mechanical,
just, yeah.
I think you had to
My
get that
favorite
towed
new
down.
sub,
Bro.
Gately the Relentless subs.
Those look sick, bro.
He's also got new tooled baskets that the venting down here is
Look at the
Gately
former.
shields.
Look at the former.
Yeah,
The
it's
whole
huge.
thing, you can see it all move up and down. That's so sick, bro.
I literally have like 9 fucking minutes of video of like, dude, that Raiden truck, the new F450. When I
Sick,
say
bro.
that truck literally played the entire day with the subs and the amps directly beating down in the Nevada sun on them, and played the whole fucking day with the truck on an AC, and they were fine. I was
Damn.
like, what in the F? The those subs and the B2 Rampage XLs blew my freaking mind over the last week.
Possibly next sub.
Every B2 Rampage build I had like the most amazing bandwidth that I've honestly heard in like full big builds like that, as far as a handful of subs.
You can
Damn.
see all their parts moving around too. That's why I like the B2 stuff. Like you
Yeah.
can see it working, bro. It's really cool.
The Trinity ones too, with those baskets they have, you can see all the freaking stuff like those things were going nuts.
Yeah. I think F5
I
makes
would
some really
l-
cool stuff like that too. Like you can see everything moving on the inside.
I would love to learn how, how they design out of, how much airspace or, with how open those baskets are, the pros and cons with that, of just noise, mechanical noise, and just because I know, with pull venting and coil venting or whatever, you want to call it, like you can't run both, because then you see it all the time. But to have better cooling, at least from what I'm hearing, and I want to learn more about it, you want one or the other, because you want that dust cap pushing down that air, and if there's no, just how that stuff works and how that basket's wide open.
So from my understanding, it really is also to do with the motor assembly also, like when they get to where they work together. The top part at the coil there is really just meant for just getting airflow at the coil. But
Right.
Jacob Fuller was explaining to me, like they even, like the bottom plate, how you'll have the pole piece vent and you'll have the small ones around it.
Yeah.
They even get into like barreling the freaking holes and all that stuff to get like the exact volume of airflow where it creates suction for push and pull inside the motor as
Right.
the motor goes up and down. Like now, don't get me wrong, you're not going to see that in an off the shelf, open tool motor. But again, like these big brands, like they're getting freaking crazy with it. So I mean, like literally like rifle barreling to create suction and put air where they want it and stuff like that and vent it.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm, want to learn about, just how they figure that out. Obviously
them
it's all
figure that out.
science and I
will.
want to learn about it, at least
for
the
sure.
top of the iceberg.
I feel like the dad in Joe Dirt, he's like, it's just like posi traction. It just does. You know what I mean? Like that's why it feels like the
Yeah.
sundown.
It works.
They're like, why is the sundown shit so much better? Like it just fucking is, dude. Like not saying anything, but I mean obviously the kicker stuff's great too. But I'm just talking about in general as far as our builds go.
Right. No, I just, I see those woofers and I'm like, okay, well, I want to see, more about it. I want to know how they came with that conclusion of, why that works. And like how you were saying with the B2s and stuff, why they have good, sound at the upper end, it's just that BL and just everything put together of just how the woofer's designed top to bottom. And man, I like B2. I've heard B2, man. Nothing bad about it
Hey,
either.
Have you guys really talked much about the new subs that Jacob is pushing right now? The SDD ends.
The Steve Duncan, those
Yeah.
I wouldn't really talk about those much, but there's some really cool stuff coming with those, and it's going to be leading towards the new, the new
NSV6.
motor frames. Yeah.
So from the photos that he posted, it looks like, and I might be wrong, but it looks like he's putting like a neodymium magnet on the actual pole itself,
Yep.
kind of like the DD Audio subs do for their supercharged option. I think it is. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Isn't the supercharge option at the top plate though, not in the pole vent?
It's
it
top
might
plate.
be.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
top
it's
plate.
top plate. Well, we got
I don't-
Mr. DD right here, so he can
Yeah,
answer
what's up,
for us
Blake?
too.
Yeah, I don't know much about DD subs. I can't really speak to it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna
No
be
one's
pretty
mentioned the RE Audio Triple X yet. That was an awesome
Yeah,
sub.
dude.
I've always wanted
Awesome.
one, but never could get
My
one.
79 was walled off with a RE 18 like in a Rockford T3000 for a long time. The
Dude, I want one bad. Oh, what you sipping on, Robert?
That's what it is. It goes back to like good luck finding a one that's not just completely either beat the shit or going to come apart when you get it.
What are you sipping on?
Who, me?
Yeah, those are
Oh,
awesome.
he's got the Yinglings. Robert.
Those are insane subs.
I got the Yinglings, but I like to. I'm bougie, so I like to drink it out of a glass.
I like to drink it out of the biggest can they make. If they had 40s, I'd still get
Miller
40.
Life Pounder, huh?
Joe, what's a big sub for you? A cool sub that you like?
Me?
Yeah,
Sorry, I couldn't hear
you.
you.
Come on, Joe.
Couldn't hear you. Back in the day, it was 12s and 15s were the biggest subs around.
I mean,
Saw a
like
few
what brand?
18s.
What kind of sub?
So going back to the 80s, Kicker MTX, Rockford were very popular. Those are, but in the early 90s, it was Infinity. A couple other brands were starting to pop up. I still miss my Voltrons, which became Memphis later.
Voltron.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Voltron came Memphis, and that's when Voltron got bought out, and then the first line of Memphis amps were the Memphis Bel Air, and they were still using the Voltron
Yeah.
heat.
Okay.
They
Yep.
were really good subs. They
Yeah.
were really good. I beat them to death.
Dude,
They were really
all
good.
that just came together in my mind. It blew my mind just now.
I was gonna speaking of those, my first big ass amps I ever saw were fucking US amps VXL amps.
Oh, they were great.
Same, bro.
Great.
The thing is so sick. Look at that thing, bro.
They
With the
were great.
acrylic back or the plastic, whatever it was, black backplate.
It was probably plastic back then.
Plexi, probably.
Yeah,
I
it could
had
be
two of them.
plastic.
I don't remember which ones they
Look
were,
at
but I had a
the palm tree.
1.5. Where's the purple one? I had a purple one and an orange one.
Isn't
Yeah,
that what Jonathan Price is basing his like newer amps off of? Is that retro style of the US amps? Yeah, like
I
those,
think so, yeah.
those look good. Those colors.
From my understanding,
I
they
love
had
it.
designers come in from somebody that was affiliated with them. From my understanding,
Yeah, makes sense.
but I mean, like all that stuff's it's not copyright or anything like that anymore. From my
Yeah, I
understanding.
think that's the idea, to bring back the old school Finn style,
Now, I did get one of my dream big ass amps, and I thought I loved it until we put an AMM on it, and I was making 1,200 watts out of it. And
At like 7 ohms, though.
yeah, touche, you're right. The Rockford
Ah.
T4000 was my dream amp for
Good
years.
stuff.
Beautiful.
Look how empty the board looks.
Yeah,
it was
because
tiny.
that's the one Derek dynoed, right?
No,
I
he
know
dynoed the
he gave it to
1504.
Rob.
He did the 1500.4.
1504.
1504. So this is the 25?
No, this is the 4K.
4K. This is
super
the big.
clean.
This is the big. Okay.
Yeah, it's so that's the power supply section, and then the other one's the output section.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice.
The only thing on that amp is though is like I when I got back into cardio, I pretty much exclusively used those series amps, like all the Rockford T series of that generation. I just got to where I outgrew them, like the crossovers were antiquated, like you didn't have adjustable slopes, it has fucking angled inputs on the front of the amp that I freaking hate. Those
Dude,
angled
I
inputs,
hate input inputs, dude.
bro. No matter
Yeah,
what
I
you
didn't talk about
do,
it.
you have to have the amp a foot off the floor to make it where you're not,
Yeah.
It's just meant for those clean builds, and then you got to build
Well,
a
they got the
false
cover
floor
on 'em.
where
They
it
got the
sits
huge-
on. It's just
Well, it's
yeah.
for cooling. We had a fan at the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We need,
And
we
they got
need
the
these
cover.
barrels of that, too. Really.
Yeah, just
barrels
jam
make
it
a
in
lot
there,
of sense.
Casey.
I
Just
just
jam
crammed
it
it
in,
in there.
twist it, hope for the best.
What Fosgate amp is that Steve Meads was running for a long time? He had two of them. That
The
actually they're
Rockford
huge.
T15K.
The BDC
Yeah, the massive ones.
2500s.
T15K.
I know he had
Oh,
the
yeah.
25s too, Casey, because he did
He
that
did
with
have
the
25, with the gauges
Oh,
the
on it.
yeah.
capacitor, AGM, and lead acid test.
Yeah, he had the
That's-
gauges on the front of them, the black ones.
That's not even an amplifier. That's just a powerhouse,
Yeah, they're nuts. This was like a huge impressionable thing. I mean, this is 2008. Yeah, like I was fucking young when this came out.
This right here is what like put me on to when I grow up and become like wealthy, I'm going to do this, and that's where it all started right there. I got a small system up until this point, and that's when I made the determination that when I actually make some real money, I'm going to do this.
Hell yeah.
Right.
bro. That's crazy, isn't it?
59.1 old term lab meter.
Dude, do you guys remember that Steve Mead video that he posted where he's doing demos for people and the lady's like fake eye pops out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That changed my life. When I saw that video, I was like, I want to do that. But that's
You
what I
see
need
that
to
the
do.
Windows computer in there.
Someone probably told him you still ain't loud, bro.
Yeah,
guy
the old
know how
like
to say
Steve
that.
Mead drive-through freaking like Taco Bell and shit like that videos, all that stuff.
Yeah, someone came out and was like, yo, what's it do at 20 though?
Yep, always.
You got a 60 though.
Well, Casey,
That's
what's it
loud.
do at 20?
Yeah, I know,
We got
right?
the guy for that.
It's crazy to think about too, though. Like we're driving around with bigger systems and more power than these like what we thought was iconic, which obviously for their time was still mind fucking boggling. But I remember being young and being on the SMD forums and first seeing those like my dad and those guys. They did walls, but pretty much every wall was a flat wall or a clamshell. So like there wasn't like much variety that I saw in that stuff. I started
Right.
seeing this more modern, like B pillar builds for like the dimensions stuff like that on the SMD forums, and it was just like fucking mind boggling to me at the time to be able to see that stuff laid out, 3D rendered and stuff like that. It was like, we live in the freaking future. And then like look fast
Yeah.
forward now.
Well, I mean, I feel like the innovation was really on a I don't even know what you would call it, just going faster around then, and now it's like, I wouldn't say it's slowing down. It's just we're pretty advanced, with what we have. We are spoiled with the amount of power and everything, but
Cheap power.
man,
Cheap
yeah.
Power's too
Real
cheap. Power's too cheap. I had another guy ask me today if he can buy a D3400 and if it'll support his Terran Space 5K.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Probably.
mean, if you
He's
don't
only
mind
gonna clamp
11.8,
100 watts.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is it.
My
After
eye
Rise
the
popped
one-
out. Oh yes. Yes.
The funny thing
Yep,
is,
yeah, that one.
all the
She was
builds have
asking for it.
changed, but we're still fucking ruining Tahoes.
Dude, I can still remember the sound of her voice.
This
I've watched that
face,
video
though.
so many times.
Right? Dude, I love those door panels with the aluminum.
Yeah.
It looks so
I mean,
sick.
She was a
Imagine
trooper
picking
about
up-
it.
Would you open the door and let her pick it up, or would you pick up the eyeball?
Yeah,
I'll
I'd be
let her
opening
pick
up
it
that
up.
door
I'll be
real
like,
fast. Just getting out. Here you go.
That's where you drive off and take her eye with you. That's a souvenir.
Next
Put
thing
a
you know,
little
you got
jar.
a shit knob.
Listen, there was his time at the show.
Oh,
If that wasn't
man.
on video, no one would believe it happened.
No. Just like
Okay.
kickers breaking windows out, that
And
never
also,
happened.
dude, have y'all ever seen a glass eye? They're not perfectly round. They're like, they have a shape to them, so they're super creepy.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Maybe that's insensitive, but dude, I saw one in person one time and it freaked me out, bro. This guy that worked with my stepdad growing up was like, "Hey, check this out." And he had that one eye that always went, but the other one just stayed forward, and he just took it straight out. So I saw everything inside, and he like hands it to me, and I'm like,
Ugh.
"Bro, please don't hand that to
Give me the
He's like, "No,
heebie-jeebies,
here, take
man."
it."
Hold
He dropped
this.
it out of his hand, so I either had to grab it or let it fall on the floor. So I grabbed it, and I was like, and then his eye in my hand, I was like, it's fucking terrible. I thought it was gonna be round like a marble, dude. It was not round.
it was not round.
It was like a beanbag, but with like a smooth face to it, but hard glass. It's weird, bro.
Dude, I was like 9 years old. I had no idea what dentures were, and we were like standing in my great grandfather's field, and like we were like playing with go karts or four wheels or whatever. And like this guy that was like the neighbor like tripped up in the grass, something like that, and he spit out both of his dentures on the ground or whatever. And like I'm like, what in the fuck was that? Dude, he literally like picks them up and he had like a glass of tea or water or whatever, like pours it on the dentures and puts them back in his mouth. And I was like, oh my god!
5 second rule.
My grandpa's like, you better brush your teeth, son. You can do that. And I'm like, yes, sir. I'll never not brush my teeth again.
Did he ever take his teeth out and just do this?
No. That's like the
No, I'm talking
only
about
time
that,
I
right?
ever met that guy. He was like the neighbor across the road, and like they had a big ass field, and it's like the house in the corner. I never even knew that guy. First time you met him, his teeth falls out.
Well, we have to be thankful that we have all our teeth in both our eyes, and well, I guess our
For now.
eardrums for now.
No ears.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Going to the Sky High show, this right ear was fucked for like 3 days. Like every time
So
I
you wear
moved my
earplugs,
jaw, it
Scott?
would pop or hurt.
Acute
We
hearing
all
damage?
Need to
What?
make a better effort to wear earplugs for real, dude.
No, I blame it on the B2 bourbon. Okay, I got like turned the right way at the door or whatever, and I've never had my ear violently hit the side of my face and the back of my neck so hard my entire life.
Listen, Scott, we will not judge you. Cover your ears. I do it
Yeah.
too. When I sat in Joby's 170/47, I'm sitting there covering my ears because it's too much pressure, and the mids and highs are going to make you go deaf. I feel quicker than SPL, no matter how loud, but to a point. 184, you sitting in that, man, I don't know. I feel like your ears might start bleeding. You might rupture your eardrum.
Yeah.
Is your eardrum
You could.
stronger than his windshield? I doubt it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. I got you covered, Scott. You're good.
Hell yeah. He's like, I got a bag of them. Yeah,
Box.
old bills.
Box.
Oh, wow.
I would
gotta
like the
protect
high
your
res
ears.
one. so you can still hear
We were
stuff.
talking about kickers blowing windshields. I just did a quick YouTube search. I can't find a single video of kickers busting windshields.
Yeah, wait until the
because it
new
doesn't
ones come out,
happen. It
dog.
just
And
doesn't
then wait
happen,
till
man.
Solo X, dude. Who's gonna be the first freaking guy on YouTube with Solo X video busting a windshield on YouTube?
I don't know. Kayla's
Anybody
car,
can do it, it's
I doubt it. I doubt it. Because I'm just going to go with 210s. But, you know, with the Pilot,
It's gonna be
right
Andy.
now, it's our family car. Eventually, I would like to put something bigger in there. But,
You're doing
you
two
know,
tens in the Cookie Monster.
in Kayla's car. Because she's got the Eclipse,
Did you tell
too.
us that you're not doing an 18?
Well, I'm going to do an 18, but, you know, it's still an 18, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, a little more
Somebody tried to
power.
argue me the other day that the old Solo X family is going to outperform the new one. And I'm like, just shut your mouth.
Efficiency watt for watt. But
Sure.
but these are going to take more power, and they got more bore and stroke, you know, or you're more stroke, so
Sure.
more weight, so you know
And they're
how it
going to
goes.
play the frequency tune that we want to play now.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, there's still going to be musical subs, you know, but they're not going to be as like the old school Solo X was. I mean, honestly, it was made for 45 hertz and up. Literally, it just had a very nice response curve, but it was meant for SPL. You know,
And Andy's like, I'm gonna play 15.
Yeah, they're like, this is not what we intended this to do. This is probably why you're having problems, you know. I'm like,
That's what I try to
yeah.
tell a lot of people too. Is like, I was like, if we wanted to build a demo vehicle and it smashed 20 to 29 hertz all day, I was like, could throw a wall of the old Solo X in there, you're gonna be shredding to fucking death. You know what I mean? As far as like cramming a goblet of power on. Not that they're
Right.
bad subs, but I mean, like, if you want to play 20 hertz, like, there's more modern stuff out there to do that.
Right, I know, and then I feel bad for some guys because they think that these parts are going to fit the old ones, and it's like, nah, it's all totally retooled and everything. I mean, it's just going to be a better driver, you know. I don't know. I think it's going to keep up. Hopefully, you know, Bart was saying that they're farther along than, you know, than I would think they would be, and so hopefully we'll see them before Christmas. I have a good feeling. Otherwise, they wouldn't say nothing. Bart's kind of in control of a lot of things, so if he's going to say something, you know, they're pretty close. So I'm excited.
I'm confident in say that too. Yeah, the going back to it, and someone made a comment in the thing here. Do you think what is he brought up the Astrovan? I think there's some iconic older vehicles, like, you know, I was brought up, we're still ruining Tahoes. I still love seeing Astrovans getting walled off. I like seeing Tahoes get walled off, especially older vehicles that actually I used to not like that much are growing on me just for base builds, like 90s fucking Blazers. I never
Box
really,
cars.
I
never
love them
wanted
so
90s
much,
Blazers.
dude.
Really?
That was my first car, dude. I had a.
No, I like the square
S10
ones.
Blazer.
I like the square Blazers, like the S10 Blazers.
Oh, you
But
shut
the-
your mouth.
But the next jog body style. But now I'm like, dude, those are tits for walls. Because tiny cabins, too, when you do a B-pillar in them, tiny cabins.
Yeah.
Squarer the better.
I would love to have another Blazer. They were just such pieces of shit, dude. Like, honestly, like the late 90s Blazers, early 2000s. Even with the 4.3, they just eventually.
I was gonna say the 4.3 V6 never died though. Never
It
died.
depends.
Mine
You got a
did.
spider
Everything
injection
else
or
fell
not, yeah.
apart, though.
If you have a
That was my
spider
first
injection,
system,
one,
dude.
it's good.
I just remember my buddy Devin. He had one. He beat the piss out of it. Just every day, every car show, we'd go there. You know, hang out at Walmart, 1 a.m. You know, burn out, revving it. You know, just beating the crap out of it. And it ran, man.
Same.
It ran.
My
Yeah.
dream vehicle still to do a wall build in, it's an old school vehicle, is I really want to do a 90s two-door Pathfinder. 1 second, I got to boom, boom, boom.
That would be cool. That thing would disintegrate, though. This thin sheet metal, cheap fucking interior.
Yeah, it'd have to go
It
extreme.
looks sick, though.
That reminds me
That
of a
does look
Bronco,
super
but
cool.
smaller. I like those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the
That one
Toyota.
looks
What
sick.
truck was it? The Toyota. The
Helix?
one that Williston. Not Willie Williston.
Thermo, Forerunner.
Whistling Diesel.
Are you
did.
thinking like a Helix, like the truck?
Helix, yes, the Helix. It looks
I
like
had
it.
a, I had a dope Toyota Helix.
Listen, the Helix is the the worldwide terrorist vehicle. Like
It
overseas
really is, dude.
in deployed locations, everyone that's out to get us, they're driving Helix.
Well,
with a
I've
machine
been
gun in the
watching out,
back.
man. I've seen that thing fall from a helicopter, still running. You know.
I had a shit box one. I loved my Helix though.
Robert's been like overseas in the military.
forgot
seeing
about
these
that,
things
yeah.
and driving around in the sand and shit, probably.
Yeah, I was deployed to Jordan, and that was our actual like truck that we drove was a Helix, a stick shift Helix, and they'll survive anything. You can drive them in any environment; they'll
Have
survive
you
it.
seen the?
I was gonna say, did that have the snorkeler on it?
No, ours did not. No,
Oh,
but
okay.
ours work four doors though, which are I think they're rare to see 4 doors.
The bad
Wow.
part is too is like
wow.
even those shitty ones overseas are just appreciating value right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Who
know,
needs a snorkeler driving underwater? Will keep driving. You
Have
know?
y'all seen the Hilux video where they fucking dropped a building on, or dropped the freaking Hilux off the building and it fired up and ran?
Yeah.
I
Is
believe
that
it.
Whistling Diesel?
No,
Yeah.
no, freaking.
It wasn't him, but he did a lot to it. It kept going, man. Flip the damn thing, you know?
No,
just
they took a Top Gear in like the early '90s, did a building demolition with a Hilux on top of it.
oh,
And that's after, that's after they took in. Where to go? I just saw. There we go.
I
That's
saw that
after
episode.
so they've already like wrecked this truck. They've already submerged it underwater, like buried it in sand, and then they blew up a building, and then took in the truck still fired up.
damn.
Oh, it's not playing.
I want to know what kind of metal they used because it's not what we're using now.
They get in it and literally it starts to fuck up. Like they put another battery in it, it just fires off.
That's crazy.
I can turn the sound on. Where to go?
Civilizations a couple thousand years from now are
They're
going to
fucking
uncover a Helix, and it's going to fire up.
Yeah, that's the only thing going to be left.
Like, come on.
Damn. I call Photoshop.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
They're just gonna there's like a whole series on these though, like where they took in the, like the first time they did it, they took the freaking they just buried it in sand and water and shit like that. Like there's like a whole series, and they took a freaking the wrecking ball, they flipped shit over with it. Like they just tried to destroy the truck and would never stop running.
It makes sense now more why Whistling Diesel did what he did with his, you know.
I didn't see the Whistling Diesel.
Oh my god, you got to watch it. It's like
He dropped
5
it
videos.
from a helicopter.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Freaking
Pull it up right
crazy,
now.
man.
We're talking about subs and amps. We're like, let's ruin fucking Toyotas.
Hey, so speaking of subs and amps, Scott, when I was at Sundown and you were there, and I got a demo of your XV3s, between your XV3s and Jared just talking me into it, I traded my Yukon and got the Yukon XL, and the build I'm going with is all XV318s.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
I wanted to do Nightshade version 6s when they come out, but for the price, it just made more sense to go with a ridiculous amount of cone area and go with XV3s.
Sure.
So-
In all reality, the XP3 is so close to his DV5, just like with a smaller, efficient motor. Like, dude, you have the motor force, and it's all.
And dude, your back is gonna thank you. Listen to XV3s versus those DV6s and DV5. That little amount of weight difference, my back is not set up to handle those subs no more.
Oh, dude, for sure. And like mine are nice because like I can only have to pull the front loading, like Joe's truck to pull his DV6s out. You got to pull the loading wall out, all that shit. I just like literally unscrew my cord. They come right up the hole.
Yeah, rub it in a little bit more, Scott. Keep rubbing.
Robert, what kind of vehicle do you have?
So I did have a Yukon, and I just traded one of the guys on Team Blur Vision my Yukon for his Yukon XL, and I actually just went today to pick up some of the steel because we're going to do a steel cage in the Yukon XL. And the plan for now is going to be 8 XV318s on 4 Salt 8s. But more than likely, it's going to have more room in it than what we're planning. So it'll end up likely being 9 XV318s. And I'll do just 3 Salt 8s. So 3 subs per Salt 8.
That'd be sick.
Damn. That's going to be windy, too. You know, you got a lot of motor force, a lot of woofers. I mean, you know, you should have the right amount of power. You said 8K per, what, 2 or 3 subs?
It'll be if I do the 8 subs, it'll be a Salt 8 per 2 subs at 1 ohm. If I do 3 Salt 8s, it'll be a Salt 8 at 0.67 per 3 subs, which is more than enough power, like beyond more than enough.
Right. Damn. Yeah, that'll be awesome. It feels like everyone's doing the steel cages now, you know, and I don't know. I feel like if you have enough space, the wood could do just the same, but you could probably get better rigidness with the steel and then fill in with wood.
What I'm thinking is by doing the steel, we're going to build it as absolutely far out as we can to the window line and just take advantage of every single little bit of space that we have. And what's nice about it is the ability to build that massive box. And from years to come, I can always just change what's inside the box and the configuration of it.
Right.
You got all the room you need.
Nice, strong, just, you know, foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Whose truck did you get?
Nick, I can't remember his last name. He lives down here near me. He works at Audio Zoo here in Warner Robins.
Oh,
like
sick.
10 minutes up the road from my house.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. We'll have to get you on one episode in an interview and talk about the build and get it going, man. That'd be sick.
I stripped my Jakar build and traded it to him. So he got my truck with the enclosure completely stripped, and I got his truck completely stripped.
I like what you did with the amp rack. I'll post some pictures of that soon too. Like the
Hey,
amp
I
rack.
can't take credit. Listen, that's not me at all. That was all Jerry Conrad. Like
Oh, wow.
that was his idea. He just ran with it and he did his thing.
It came out sick.
It did.
That's what's
Heck
up.
yeah, dude.
Boom, boom,
Now I'll be
boom.
waiting for that. So you think you'll be ready for Slam next year, or do you go to Slamology?
So my goal is for it to be playing by December. My plan is for it to be completely finished by TDH in March.
Nice. Okay, so you're pretty close to me, or you just drive to TDH? Because I know that's Maryland here.
He's in South Georgia.
It's in South, yeah. It's a 10 and a half,
wow.
11-hour drive for me.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go to one of those. Usually, it's just like, okay, one car audio show a year. You know, for me, it's like it's asking enough. But that TDH isn't too far. It's like 4 hours for me. My buddy
See,
Justin Molyneux usually goes down.
I got to go to Slam because I still haven't went to Slam yet, and I know it's a huge one. So I've been to Ruckus, TDH, I've been to Sundown, but I
Nice.
have not been to Slam yet.
Yeah, well,
Slam's
you got this
different, man.
big
It's
build,
crazy.
man. It might be worth
Slam's
it.
the busiest for sure. Like the busiest amount of people going on, stuff like that. I like some of the smaller shows because like how personal you get to hang out with everybody.
Right.
But even like
Right.
Sundown show this year was crazy busy, man. Like I was stuck in my truck most of the whole day.
Yeah.
Damn. I know sometimes it's almost like too much going on. You know, can't relax.
Yeah, Joe was in the
But-
Sundown booth this year at Slam. It was sick.
That's actually something I look forward to for Ruckus this year. It's going to be the first big show that I'm going to with no build. I'm just going strictly to get demos and hang out and just talk to people.
Bro,
That's when you
I
have
had-
the most fun, though. You
Mhm.
know.
That's what I did this last weekend at the Sky High show, man. Like, went there with no build. I literally just like, there's just, lines of trucks and cars up the road on both sides. I just got in one vehicle and then the next one down to it, just next one down. And like, it was sick. Like, just getting demos the whole day or going back and getting multiple demos, and stuff like that. It was great. You're not
Heck
worried
yeah.
about like, is my truck burning down to the ground when I'm not at it and all that stuff? Hell yeah.
Ooh, excuse me.
One day,
Is
one
it-
day, Clue.
Is it going to make it 10 hours, a 10-hour drive? Will it make it there and back?
You could have
Yes.
been me like at Sundown Show. We
Yeah.
went to go do awards and left my truck running with the AC on and come back and the ignition's on and the truck's not running and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And,
Ruh-roh.
Hey, it looked like it ended good for you, though. I saw your post on Facebook about hanging out and riding UTVs
dude.
and stuff.
Yeah, and it being a blessing in disguise. I needed the extra day, to relax and recoup anyway. The only thing I wish is that if I would have had my work laptop with me, which I just like, I'm not gonna need it, all that shit. But if I would have brought that, it made the adventure a lot easier. But
Hey, we live and we learn.
the only problem was because I had my truck brought back to the Sundown facility after it got repaired. So like all I had to do was get a ride back to when we got done in the woods. And so we'd been drinking in the woods, and I'm like, hey, I shot Brian a message. I'm going to hang out here at the parking lot for a while. I need to sober up before I even do this drive. And I had intentions of, just drinking water and eating a snack in a minute. And then I fell asleep in the truck and woke up, and it was like 10:30 at night and had a 4.5-hour drive home. And I was like, wow, this fucking sucks. Like, but I mean, like, obviously it was good that I was well rested and I was completely sober and I woke up.
Yeah, exactly. More blessings in disguise are the best things later. At the time,
for
you're
sure.
like, oh.
I was like hauling ass to the highway and trying to find, because it's in Hickory, North Carolina. So trying to find a like open fast food spot because I was starving. And like I got into like doing like the Jack in the Box. I showed up like 1 minute before they closed or whatever, and they were like cutting lights off as they handed me my shit. So I was like,
Damn.
thank you God, I needed to take and cram my.
So
face.
where did Casey go?
He
I
just
know
shot
you
me
would
a message
normally
alerting it. His internet went down.
blackouts are
Damn.
happening
I bet
everywhere.
he didn't pay his bill.
Damn. Well, at least we got Robert and Joe to keep the conversation going with us too, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
as quiet
you guys
as I
hanging
am, I'm
out.
sure I'm really keeping it going. As quiet
Joe,
as I
your
am.
presence is just needed.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Appreciate you hanging out, man.
I'm
But
like
no,
I know.
a tree.
I think it's gonna be a laid back more episode. I wanted to shoot the breeze, talk about subs and amps for a little bit. We got some of that covered. We had a couple of weeks off, man. Taking the shit, I've needed it too, man. Like it's been luckily shows back to back, and then you had the kid thing going off. Just not been lining up.
I know it's been insane, man. It really has. But I mean, this is car audio season. We're full tilt boogie right now. I know I'm kind of excited for like October, November, because then things will slow down a little bit. But still, I just feel like I'm gonna fill it in with something else. But I don't know. We're making it. We're making it happen, and it's tough doing this live stream and stuff. I do
And
it twice.
You got your plate full now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man, it's insane. But I'm enjoying it. I'm blessed to be able to do it. But yeah, it's crazy. One step at a time, though.
Let you know how finals goes. Boom. Yeah, it's been cool that you've had the
What's going
kicking
on,
it with
Declu?
Andy thing, man. The kicking it with Andy has been freaking sick so far.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, I just want to do kicker good, you know, for the unmasked stuff. And, you know, I mean, shoot, they're giving away stuff on my show. I got to make the content pretty good. And that's what's nice, though, doing more than one show. You know, we get a laid back Friday, Tuesday after show. That's kind of laid back. But, you know, we try to be serious on kicking it with Andy. Try to learn something.
I don't think we're doing Wake the Dead, but were we going to the Birmingham show, Joe? I think we talked about it. I don't recall.
I think it's yeah, I think so. Hang on.
We're going to some show in Alabama coming soon.
Yeah, it's
There's so many shows, man. I wish I could do more than I do. You know, I'm sure eventually, but you know, it's cool that we live in this time that they're available. You know, it's not just one show, one place. You know,
October
We're lucky.
1st, Greater Alabama Showdown.
Oh, gotcha. So that's not the
Nice.
same one then. He's talking about the 22nd. But hell yeah, I'm ready for show season to slow down just a little bit. To be honest with you, like I need some freaking weekends at home. You know,
Yeah.
Get some stuff done on my. All we've been doing is slapping band-aids on my truck, dude. Like I've got shit that needs to be welded, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I got
That's-
that big
yeah.
upgrade coming myself, so I'm excited too.
Your bar should be here. It's probably in the mail. I need to take in the. Should check that probably at the warehouse, but yeah, they showed shipped. We're gonna change Joe's truck up to some new limitless batteries, the new G80s, 3 of them. It's gonna be pretty freaking sick.
nice.
50s, G50s.
G50s, yeah, 3
Is that-
G50s, yeah.
Are those 16 volt batteries, or is it still like a 14 volt setup?
They're LTO, so I mean, 15.5 is what we're going to.
Yeah.
So
Damn, you were
stuff.
so you were like 14, 8, 15 before.
Yeah, pretty
Joe.
much.
Yeah, he's brought
Oh,
down
yeah,
the high
you-
14s. But he has his new 400s. You can change the wiring and bump them to 15.5, and then so we're pulling out 2 12-volt 100 amp hour banks and putting 3 50 amp hour 14-volt banks in. So it should be a pretty good upgrade.
Heck yeah.
I think the crescendos are going to wake up. You're going from 14.8 to 15.5. Yeah, exactly.
Like I need more power. I need more power, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Always.
But I
Well,
mean,
about
always.
40,000 watts now. I don't need no more.
it'll make it more efficient and harder to clip. Is the thing I'm going to think about.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna
sure.
make more power at higher impedances, and it's going to be harder to clip because you'll have that battery ready to go.
Amps will
need-
just be happier, you know.
Yeah, because I'm running out of juice now, and I'm even with 1,200 amps of charging, I'm still running out of power.
Wow. Well, I mean, you're definitely pulling way more than 1,200 amps. So, I mean,
For sure.
shoot.
It's crazy
Those
now
two
though, but
components.
because with it going to the 12-volt reserve and his alternators, when you have 400s or whatever, like he puts such a load on the belt, like we're even getting.
Neat.
Joe, somebody told me forget the manual tensioner. So the manual tensioner apparently works, but you're actually not physically going to be able to put enough tension on the belt to get it to where it's not going to take and go. They were telling me what we need to get upgrade ones for is find certain model Corvette and whatever the stock supercharged cars are. They have stronger tensioners for the supercharged models. Some of them are the same.
Okay.
Same.
That's the
Well,
thing.
they
You
have
start
a
getting
part
belt
number?
slippage.
Do they have
Yeah,
a part number
Joe's
or
when he
anything?
loads up when he starts to drop his battery reserve down. I mean, into his battery reserve, it puts a big load on the alternators. He can just fucking demolish a belt, dude. I mean, it's just straight
Damn.
up like. And
Yeah,
they say
carry
when the
3.
alternator belt's slipping, it's like concrete friction, like concrete sliding on each other.
You almost need 2 engines for your truck there, Joe.
I mean, I'm telling you, I carry 3 belts and 2 pulleys because I'll smoke them.
Damn.
Dude, but Joe can throw a belt on that quad alt setup in like 5 minutes flat now.
I wonder if you could have somebody, that knows what they're doing, almost make a second pulley for each pulley, so you have 2 belts going on that, it'd be some fabrication.
Yeah, but you have to like stagger the pulleys on stuff like that. What they'll do is they'll add another pulley on your crank pulley, and then you'll have a separate serpentine setup for your stock accessories. But again, like you get
Right.
some serious math and work on belt alignment at that point because like you're
So,
splitting your stuff out.
Is that like Kyle Rutherford for Clippo? He's got like 7 alts on his 5.7 liter. So he has like
Jeez.
3 or 4 on one side of his engine, and he has 3 or 4 on the opposite side. But he's able to turn a select couple of alternators off at any given time, so he can give 3 or 4 a rest while he has the other 3 or 4 running.
That's the same way
Wow.
like Andrew, the B2 Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
He has all those alts like it's either like 7 or 9 or some bullshit.
It's because they have so much room under the in the engine bay of those older style square body Suburbans. There's like endless room to put however many alts you want to put. That's ridiculous. That's
Damn.
crazy.
That's the crazy
There's no
thing about
fenders,
the square bodies in general, though. You have all of that fascia room in there and all that stuff, but the frame is actually super narrow. So people think you can put huge motor and stuff in square bodies, but the frame is so close together. So like even you have to use like funky headers and all that stuff just for C10s because the frame's so
Damn.
close together. But yeah, so
I
it's
like
the
that
same-
configuration though with the alts, how it's going down and around. You know,
I was
almost
trying to find a picture of the back because he has the same setup. He has like digital readouts on the back of the truck, and then he can turn switches on. Like if he has thermal probes on them also. So like when they get to a certain temperature, he just takes and turns different alternators on and different ones off.
What's
I
he
like how
got?
it has-
5 or 10 on there?
I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I like how he has the rear side windows on a like a hatch system to where you can lift them up to see his fuses and his wiring.
Yeah, that's where his jumpers are and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Just
Jeez,
neat.
so he's got 8. Damn,
That's, a
that's
lot.
insane.
Where'd he go? This was over the weekend at the thing. I was hoping to show the picture of the back. The
That
again,
whole
this-
truck just looks in. It's not even just the audio. It's just the entire package itself is just put together so well. Paint, everything.
What's
Yeah,
his
it
name?
is.
That owns that?
Andrew Showers, he's the B2 guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, the again, this side of the jumpers, but yeah, nastiest ear flop I've ever had in my whole entire life. But yeah, so
Damn.
he's got these panels in the top up here. This has all of the readouts, and there's other ones for readouts, and they can just click the buttons down and turn his alternators on and off.
Wow. You know, I seen that at Slam.
Oh,
I
there you
seen
go,
that.
boom.
Yeah,
It had the
they were
amperage
parked by the
reading.
DS18 booth.
Live output of the of the alternators too for what they're putting out.
Nice.
Control is everything, man. You can see what's going on, man. You know, and have all.
Oh, there goes Andy.
Hi, Andy.
But yeah, pretty
Kind of
sick.
abrupt.
Yeah, everyone's internet's going down. Oh, there he goes. Oh. I clicked it. He clicked it at the same time. He did it again. I'm not gonna click it, Andy. You click it.
Shoot, 3 times. Man, this darn mouse. I got to get a new mouse with no back button. I got it because it's fancy. You know, it's Steelers, lights up. Yeah, these back buttons suck, and you can't even shut it off on your computer unless you know how. I just
Yeah.
need one that
I do it
doesn't
all the
have
time
that.
when I'm in Discord. Like I'll be in Discord, but I'll be on the window of the web browser, and I hit my push to talk is the side back button or whatever on Discord or whatever, and then I hit the fucking back page. I'm like, son of a bitch. Sometimes it'll
Literally.
be when I'm doing like graphic design stuff, and I'm like have a middle of a work thing open, and I change pages or whatever, and I'm like, thank God.
Looks nice, but no go. No, that was beautiful build, man. I love how he had all those wires running the way he did in the back of that.
The seats also, like he was saying that they went through like so many variations of the seat to get like the perfect angle on the back of it there. So when you sit on top of the amps there, it's like comfortable and stuff like that. And it's actually, I mean, it's fine.
Damn.
It's
I'm
pretty
surprised those speakers in his dash that he's showing right now don't take a beating from all the pressure.
sick.
They
He only
probably
plays it with the
buckle a
doors
little
open.
bit.
It
Oh, okay.
only gets played with the doors wide open.
Gotcha.
Damn.
The,
Definitely demo rig.
That's like so the windows don't roll down. He built a steel cage inside the doors, and it's an enclosure for the mid base and the doors also.
Damn.
For like a whole steel box in the door. He showed me like the whole process of the doors and stuff like that. It was insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and again, everywhere you look, there's details somewhere. Like it's pretty nuts of a build.
Got the SMD either thermo or volt.
I think it's voltage
or-
on that one, yeah.
Okay.
But I posted a video of him giving Drew Jones a freaking demo, and it's like literally like his beard was going from one side of his face to the other of it. Like
Damn.
it was nuts. I like that he did the off-white LED strip on top of his LEDs, and it gives the flat look so you don't see the individual lights.
Damn. I like how they're runners.
It's pretty nuts. But
He almost
yeah.
caught his hat. He almost caught it.
That was pretty sick though. Yeah, that was a cool experience getting to hang out with him. Yeah, I've done them online. So that's what also is great about these shows. I'm sure you'll agree is like the guys that you only know a few times a year at shows. It's something you can hang out with and stuff like that. So it's cool to see everybody and you can spend time versus on Facebook.
Right? Totally different. Totally
Crazy
different.
Hell yeah. But on that note, boys, we're right at the hour mark. Andy's got his show coming up after in a little bit too, and Rob, I appreciate you hopping on too, man. Like we'll get you on for the episode and talk about your build and all that stuff.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. It's nice having you guys on here as well.
Hell yeah, brother. Joe, you take and try not to relax too hard tonight, buddy.
Yeah, it was a rough day at work.
I hear you, man. Well, I
Every
appreciate you
day.
joining all though. Somebody said it's not loud at all. Yeah, it's not loud. But cool,
Bruh.
everyone. Rolling Thunder episode 57. We're talking about big ass speakers and amps. I appreciate everyone joining in. Everyone have a good weekend. No drinking and driving, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Absolutely. Nice seeing you guys.